So guys, I'm going to do a quick overview of some other research uh, sources that you might find helpful with your upcoming research paper. This is the OED, the Oxford English Dictionary. You can see it's 28 volumes or so. It's a dictionary. It's not an encyclopedia like Encyclopedia Britannica. Instead, this is just a dictionary, the biggest dictionary in the world. It's available at the Harold Washington Library, and also I think the Malcolm X Library somewhere, but it's also online in the or near the databases. So if you ever want to define a word and you want to use the Oxford English Dictionary to do it with for your research paper, it's a great choice. It's very, very scholarly. You can get it in the compact edition. I used to have this anyway. But all students should have a good dictionary, I think, a hardcover dictionary and a dictionary that has the word collegiate in the title, like Webster's Ninth New Collegiate Dictionary is a very good choice. It will give the Greek and Latin root words for words in terms of their etymology. These cost about $24. All students should have a hardcover dictionary. Put it on your desk by your computer for the rest of your life. And whenever you look up a word, mark it up with an ink pen, like a red ink pen. And this way you can build up your vocabulary. You should always have access to a good dictionary. Why? It allows you to understand all the words. You don't have to go through life not knowing what words are. Also, there are a lot of other dictionaries out there, like a dictionary of philosophy, dictionary of biology, a dictionary of childhood development, I would imagine, a dictionary of chemistry, a dictionary of criminal justice, a dictionary of photography. Here's a dictionary of graphic design. Whatever your major is, Google a dictionary in your major, a dictionary of psychology, and always have a reference. Or have it for easy access. In fact, I'd read the whole thing if I were you. Why? It broadens your horizons. It gives you an overall perspective of your career path. There are many different dictionaries out there. Here's a rhyming dictionary. A synonym finder is kind of like a thesaurus. It gives you alternative words. But also in Microsoft Word, there's a thesaurus, which gives you bigger, stronger words than the one that you've used. You can also search for them online, but this is one of the famous ones. It's very easy to use if you're serious about writing and using bigger words in your writing. This I love. This all students should get, I recommend. It's the Concise Columbia University Encyclopedia from New York. It's in one volume. So you don't have to have an encyclopedia at home like the Encyclopedia Britannica, 28 volumes. Instead, if you buy this one book, this is one encyclopedia in one book, and you can buy this used on Amazon for something like $4, maybe $5. I say everybody should get this book, the Concise Columbia Encyclopedia, and also a good hardcover dictionary like this, and keep these by your computer for the rest of your life. Why? You can always look things up, like Marxism or Trotskyitism, or who's Leon Trotsky, who is Beethoven, Mozart, who are these famous people in history, who's Sigmund Freud. You can look up all these guys, and you never have to go through life not knowing things. What you do need to do is have tools that allow you to look things up. This is a superb tool for that. The online Columbia Encyclopedia is online. I think it was bought up by Yahoo, but if you do a Google search for this, the Concise Columbia Encyclopedia online, you can use that, save it as a bookmark, and you can use information from here in your research paper because the information here is very reliable. You should not just use Wikipedia as an encyclopedia online. This is also online, so bookmark this. I think we covered this. You can look up the etymology of your name. Oh, this is good. Google News. I look at this every day before I get started on my computer. Google News sorts all of the relevant topics of the day, like coronavirus today, or Trump, or immigration, I don't know, whatever the topic is. But you can see that it goes through different, collects articles on the same topic from different places. Like here's from Reuters, Wall Street Journal, Fox News, USA Today, Huffington Post, NBC News, Houston Chronicle, Today.com, etc. So USA Today, New York Times, all of these articles are collected by sources, by Google News, and it gives you kind of like a presidential briefing every morning if you want on every topic. You can also customize it to show you entertainment news, sports news, science news, etc. I love it. It's one of the great news sources available. Google News. Here's an example. Also, Google Books is pretty good for ebooks for people who have an iPad or a tablet, even a big iPhone. We talked about Google Scholar on another video, but that's pretty good. It cites your sources. Here's a cite link. It'll cite your source, so you can copy and paste the source into your Works Cited page. Pretty good, Google Scholar. Oh, this is fabulous. The Gutenberg Project, or Project Gutenberg. It gives you free ebooks. It's the largest collection of free ebooks online. I'm telling you, man, it's great. Every book that's outside of copyright law and is now in the public domain is available to be put up here. That means all of Shakespeare, all of Mark Twain's books, a lot of the great books in Western literature and Eastern literature, I guess, are up here. And you can download these books and read them on your big iPhone or your tablet or your iPad and read them for free. It's a fabulous source. In fact, it may justify the price of an iPad by being able to get all these free ebooks from Project Gutenberg. YouTube videos are a great source of information for your research papers. I had a student years ago do a research paper on Steve Jobs, and he did quoted a lot of information from Steve Jobs' interviews. It's a very good source. You need to type up your Works Cited page, the reference source as a YouTube video. Do that properly, but that you can look that up on, I don't know, owl.org or anywhere else to cite a YouTube video source. But this is why I like YouTube videos. College professors throughout the country are putting some of their life's work up on YouTube videos for the public to see. You can get anything on YouTube nowadays. I typed in Charlemagne, and look at all these videos explaining Charlemagne, who was the first king in Europe after the fall of the Roman Empire. So if you're studying history, you can get all these videos. YouTube is just wonderful. It can be very scholarly. I also watch a lot of tutorials on software programs like Photoshop, video editing, audio, music apps. I have this. I love this at home. I have the Apple TV, and it gives me a YouTube channel in here somewhere. Here it is. So I can watch my YouTube channel, anything that's on YouTube, on my big television at home. That means I can spend 2 evenings watching Photoshop YouTube tutorials on my television very comfortably, with a bowl of popcorn and my feet up on the coffee table. And after 2 days of watching YouTube tutorials on Photoshop, I know Photoshop pretty well. So it's a fabulous source of information. If you're going to watch a bunch of YouTube videos on your computer, it's very uncomfortable. So it's nice to have a YouTube channel on your big TV. You can get it through Apple TV or a smart TV. I watch nothing but YouTube videos on my TV. I don't watch network TV because I can't stand all those commercials. This is good. DMOZ.org. It's the largest directory search engine on the internet. Google is different. Google is something like an index. I hope I'm getting those terms correctly. But with DMOZ, you pick a topic and then you drill down to subtopics, and you drill down even further to further subtopics. And this is one alternative search engine other than Google that's quite good. Some students have used this in the past. DMOZ.org. Here's the CIA fact book, Central Intelligence Agency. You know, American taxpayers are paying for the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, to gather information, and they put up a website of some of their good information. It's pretty good. Wolfram Alpha is fabulous. This is a wonderful website, alternative search engine to get information from. It started as a website for mathematics, but it's grown into other things. For example, it does comparisons of what's the population of the United States versus China? What's the area? How many people have internet usage? Cell phone subscriptions. 1 billion people in China have cell phones versus 310 million Americans have cell phones. So it's fabulous. It compares Iran and Iraq. It does great comparisons to anything. This might be useful in your research papers. I love Wolfram Alpha. These are the databases. We covered these in a different video, but of course they're easy to use. Just go to the Malcolm X College Libraries databases. You have to use the word database, and all these sources of information are very reliable and good. Plus, they will cite your sources. Here's the Oxford English Dictionary online, Oxford English Dictionary online, so you can look up a word like autism or postpartum depression or something, and use that information or that word defined in your paper. It's very scholarly. Also, these databases will cite your source for you. The JSTOR is very popular. Students have used that before, and also EBSCO is very popular, and Opposing Viewpoints is down a little bit. I can't access it, but anyway. Last, the Library of Congress is a big library. It's the biggest library in the world. When I was a kid growing up, all books in my hometown's small library were organized according to the Dewey Decimal System. Now, in bigger libraries, the Library of Congress has redefined the classification system. It's called the Library of Congress Classification System, and they organize all books according to their new system. So this is not the Dewey Decimal System, it's the Library of Congress system. So whatever your major is, political science, history, whatever, understand where it is in these big libraries. That way you can browse these libraries and look at other books in this section. That's called Browsing the Stacks. Malcolm X Library has this Library of Congress classification system printed up on big blue posters on the walls. So look up your major, medicine, fine arts, whatever is under N, music is under M, education is under L, etc. So whatever your subject area is, find out where it's organized according to the Library of Congress, and go there and look at the shelves and try to look at all the other books that are nearby. It's a wonderful experience to see how many good books on your topic there are.